Hey everybody, welcome back to Reluctantly Productive. I'm F Baby. This week we're taking a look at a farming route in the Rift. We're going to start here at the Ragged Hills Way Shrine, and we're just going to go kind of a southeasterly until we reach town, or the Scald's End Way Shrine, or Scald King. I don't remember what it's called, but Scald something. This is a general route. You're just going to find a bunch of everything. I think it's mostly Ancestor Silk, but you can find all resources here. I like this route because there's not very many enemies on the way if you just kind of stay towards the road and dodge the groupings. But if you want to bring a character that can kill a lot of stuff, you are very capable of getting a lot of leather as well. There are no end of bears and cats, etc. to kill in this zone. You also might know that there are about 3,000 videos showing you that just outside of Riften there's an amazing leather farm. But like I said, I'm not trying to show you guys stuff that you can find. As recently, I think it's like last month, I saw a quote-unquote new one exposing the spot. This is just a general route. It's nice and easy, it's quiet, nobody's ever here. The only real reason players come to the Rift is to get a werewolf bite, and that's less and less common. I think most players that have a werewolf bite, or want a werewolf bite, have one. So there's not a whole lot of traffic out here. This is another good route for whenever they do double drop things like they just did with that crafter ceremony, crafter weekend. I don't even remember what it was called, but double node time plus crafting bonus is how I read that announcement. The main thing you'll notice is that we're staying to the south side of the lake. We're not crossing, we're not going over to the other side. If you want to, you can actually make this a big long loop and just run the road all the way around the lake and back down the other side. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think there's less enemies here, so you can just stealth by and grab stuff. But again, it's up to you. There's really not any harm in doing that. We end in town, which is very convenient because you can just remember when you get to town, turn around, or you can port back to the Ragged Hills Way Shrine. Otherwise, I mean, the Rift is a pretty zone. It's nice to look at. Everything here is green and beautiful. It's much nicer than the last like 8 or 9 zones that have been brought to us by Zos. I guess if you love the sunflowers in High Isle, that's beautiful, but to me they look like crap. So it never, I don't know, that big announcement that they did where they were talking about, oh, the sunflowers, and you finally see them and they're just like, you just copy and pasted some assets on it. Doesn't really look that great to me. Anyway, that's it for the farming part of this video. If you don't care about what I have to say about books that I've read, then you can just click off here. And as always, I know that's not great, YouTube. You're not supposed to tell people to leave your videos early, but otherwise you can skip to the end and you'll see the totals. I ran this route for about 15 minutes, and you can just skip ahead and see where I'm at the end of that 15 minutes. For this video, I'm talking about A Man Called Ove. It's a book that came out in 2013. It was adapted, not adopted. It was not adopted into a movie. It was definitely adapted into a movie in 2014, starring Tom Hanks. I never saw the movie. This book is kind of a hard read because you want to fucking punch the main character for the first 3 or 4 chapters. He's a curmudgeonly old man, and that is the entire appeal of him. He's this charming, like blast from the past type character who is dealing with some tragedies and is kind of reaching the end of his, I don't want to say end of his rope because that's a little on the nose, as he does attempt suicide and the rope breaks, but he's kind of feeling like the world has moved past him, and with the death of his wife, there's no point in him being alive anymore. And through the book, he befriends a new family that moved in, and it's got a lot of the what I'll call proto-boomer behavior, where he's mad at one of the characters because he's not a real man who doesn't know how to use a hammer or anything like that, and he's mad at a different character because that character bought a car that wasn't the type that he liked, and, you know, men don't talk about their feelings, etc. And while he softens as the book goes on, he still really never gets over these hang-ups. He kind of treats everybody as though they are less than and they need him, and the author goes out of the way to show that they do indeed need him, when the reality situation is most people who are, I don't know, like craft unable, like people who can't do crafts, who can't do housework, they just eventually call somebody or they figure it out. So I don't know. It's sweet. It definitely has a... If you can learn to like Ove, I don't think you'll ever learn to love him, But if you can learn to like them, then it has a sweet ending, and it's a fast read. You're not going to waste any time. It's not full of crazy metaphors or some sort of deep philosophical take, but you do have to, like I said, be able to put up with the proto-boomer shit enough to at least like this character. If you find yourself after chapter 4 or so being like, dude, fuck this guy, just put it down. He doesn't actually get that much better from there on. And the other part of it is it's not written by an American, which is fine, but you do have to understand a little bit about Sweden, or at least look up some stuff. I don't know anything about Sweden besides a lot of death metal that I like comes from there. But I had to look up a few terms or not terms, but like cultural practices and, a little bit of history so that I could understand a couple scenes, but it's really not complicated stuff. So anyway, I mean, I'd recommend it, I guess. It's not like going to be my favorite book ever, but if you've got an afternoon to kill, you could easily read this book in an afternoon. It moves along at a pretty good pace, and as long as you can put up with Ove and his bullshit, then you're probably going to be fine. So yeah, I recommend. Anyway, we're here at the end. As you can see, like I said, it was mostly Ancestor Silk. We did grab some Columbine. That's always nice. And this is a pretty straightforward route. From here, I can just port back to Ragged Hills, or I can go on and sell my stuff here in Riften, just go to the bank, or I can fuck off and go somewhere else. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.